Hello, today's topic is uterus. So we will be covering certain topics in this demo. The synonyms of uterus, its definition, size and shape, normal position and angulations, communications with the other organs of the abdominal cavity, parts of the uterus, and a few important ligaments of the uterus and the clinical anatomy. So we'll start with the synonym. The other name of uterus is hystera, and from it comes the word hysterectomy. Definition: it is well defined as a female reproductive organ meant for childbirth, that is parturition. Childbirth means parturition. Now comes a very important question for the PG entrance exam, that is the size and shape of the uterus. As you can see, it is pear shaped. The uterus is pear shaped body, also known as pyriform. The shape is pyriform shape. Size: its length is 7.5 centimeters long, 5 centimeters broad and 2.5 centimeter thick. The length is 7.5 centimeters long, 5 centimeters broad and the thickness is 2.5 centimeter. In the abdominal cavity or in the pelvis, the uterus anteriorly has the vesica, that is the bladder, and the rectum behind. That is, anteriorly we have the urinary bladder and posteriorly we have the rectum. Its position: it has two surfaces, the anterior surface, also known as the vesical surface, and the posterior surface is also known as the intestinal surface. Why is the anterior surface known as the vesical surface? Because supposingly this is the urinary bladder and the uterus lies on the urinary bladder like this. So this, your anterior surface becomes the vesical surface and the posterior surface becomes the intestinal surface, which comes in relationship with the terminal ileum and the sigmoid colon. Now let's talk about the parts of the uterus. The uterus has three main parts. One, the fundus. This is called the fundus. My index finger is showing the fundus. The body, the part from index finger, that is from fundus to this constriction called the isthmus, is called the body, and below it is the cervix. This entire cervix then comes into the vagina. So as you can see, fundus, body, cervix, and here will be the vagina. Now how will you recognize the fundus? These two are the fallopian tubes, right? You see, these two are the fallopian tubes. These two are the ovaries. So wherever these fallopian tubes end and enter into the uterus, this part becomes the fundus. And this constriction is known as cornua. Here, the part between the cornua and the constriction here, isthmus, we have internally we have the internal os, and you can see here this is the external os. This is the external os of the cervix, and this part where the forceps is, this is called the cervical canal. Now, if a woman is nulliparous, means she has never given birth to a child, her external os will be circular, small and round. But if a woman is multiparous or has given birth to a child, both the lips will touch each other. So this is the uterus of a multiparous woman. Internal os, external os, cervix, the cavity is known as the cervical canal. It is flattened and fusiform, as you can see. Both the lips touch each other. So now we would like to talk about anteversion and anteflexion. What is anteversion? If this is the urinary bladder and the uterus is lying on it, the longitudinal axis of the body of the uterus along with the longitudinal axis of the vagina, it forms a 90-degree angle. Uterus and this. So you can see this forms a 90-degree angle. This 90-degree angle is called anteversion. Anteversion. Between the body of the uterus and the vagina, it forms a 90-degree angle called as anteversion. If it is the other way around, it is called the retroversion. But normally it is anteversion of the uterus. This one word terminology known as anteflexion. As you can see, at the isthmus there is slight flexion, and this forms the axis of 125-degree angle, this slight flexion, and this is called as anteflexion of the uterus. So we know two terminologies, anteversion and anteflexion. Anteversion was the 90-degree angle being formed between the body of the uterus and the vagina. Anteversion. And anteflexion is the slight flexion at isthmus or the constriction, forming 125 angle. Now we'll talk about the ligaments of the uterus. Now uterus has two types of ligaments. One are the peritoneal ligaments and other are the fibromuscular ligaments. As you can understand from the name, peritoneal ligaments, they are just namesake. They are nothing but the folds of the peritoneum. So we have three: anterior ligament, posterior ligament and the broad ligament. So anterior ligament would be the peritoneal fold between the urinary bladder and the uterus. So vesico-uterine fold, this fold covering the vesica, and the uterus would be vesico-uterine fold. Similarly, the posterior ligament or the recto-uterine fold, that is between the rectum and the uterus, so recto-uterine fold. And third one, which is the most important, the broad ligament. Now this broad ligament connects the uterus to the lateral walls of the pelvis, and it is broad because that's why the name is broad ligament. It has three parts: mesosalpinx, mesoovarium and mesometrium. The posterior part of the ovary is connected to the broad ligament, and this part is called the mesoovarium. Alright, now the part between the uterine tube and the ovarian ligament is called mesosalpinx. This would be your mesosalpinx. Mesoovarium, mesosalpinx. And the third part that covers the uterus entire, that will be called mesometrium. Alright, mesoovarium, mesosalpinx and mesometrium. So that is our entire broad ligament. Now the suspensory ligament of the ovary is nothing but if we see the ovary, the upper pole of the ovary and the infundibular part of the uterine tube, they connect to the lateral wall. That part is also called as the suspensory ligament of the ovary. So it suspends the uterus, that's why suspensory ligament of the ovary. The other fibromuscular ligaments are the round ligaments of the uterus, the transverse cervical ligament of the uterus and the uterosacral ligaments. This entire thing will be covered in another topic, that is the supports of the uterus. Now the clinical anatomy of the uterus. The uterine wall cavity is, if you cut sagittally, it is slit like, and coronally it is triangular shape. The uterine cavity is triangular in shape. It is muscular and hence it is very prone to fibroids. So the uterine body of the uterus is prone to multiple fibroids. We have colpography and colposcopy. There is this thing called the intrauterine contraceptive device, IUCD, which is placed into the uterus to avoid contraception. It's a kind of a contraception to avoid fertilization or unwanted pregnancy. Thank you.